So welcome. Nice to see you. Nothing's changed from the talks in Sausalito. I'm going to read something today because of, I just want to. We were going over this the other day. Also, just to go back to that faith mind. Have you ever heard of the faith mind? Famous small sutra from the Zen lineage. Yeah. So faith mind. And usually in the translations, the first sentence is the great way is not difficult, so the great way is really no way, basically. So the great way is not difficult. And then they go stanza by stanza of what it could be, what could make it difficult, which would be you. Yeah. You, the one who has opinions, the one who has preferences. And most people would see those statements as completely disqualifying. So the great way would be difficult. Yeah. When the statement is the great way is not difficult, period. Yeah. So it says, well, the great way suddenly becomes difficult if you have preferences, which you have preferences. Yeah. Or opinions, you have opinions. Or love and hate, you seem to go that way, aversion, desire, all that. So basically, the great way is not difficult, and then you are disqualified every stanza, but you're not that you see. So when I heard it as that you, it seemed to be insurmountable. Yeah. Because it doesn't seem like my opinions ask my opinion about the opinion. There's just opinions. It's just like that old song, my conditions checking in what condition my condition is in. The condition that's checking in is a condition. It's not you. Yeah. Yeah. So you would feel like, fuck. Yeah. What does that mean? I got to do more. Yeah, more sitting, more meditating, more service, more this and more that. And that would make the great way difficult, yes? Wouldn't it? The great way is not difficult, yet you would think you're going to try to make it not difficult with thought and effort, which would be making it difficult. You can't get out of this. That's the beauty of it, because you're not in it. You cannot get out of it. You cannot stop having opinions. You cannot. That would be an opinion. Yeah, you'd have an opinion that you should stop having opinions. You can't get out of it. This is the great news. So the great way is not difficult because you don't have to get into it, because you can't be out of it, literally. Yeah. But most of us are we're on our way, and our way seems to be difficult. And we like to merge our way with the great way, but we want to be the great one in the great way, which is more of our way. Yeah. So our way makes the great way difficult. And it's without knowing it, if you start from this idea of you as the doer, the thinker, the embodiment, the incarnation, if you start there, where most people do, because most people, when they wake up to the head waking up. Yeah. So there's a waking up, and then there's Paul waking up. It happens in time. It seems to be quick, but fact is there's waking up. And a lot of times you don't know what you are or who you are in the morning. And then Paul takes in, and now you're looking from that all day. And this is one of the statements we've come up with over the years. If you don't see this activity, mental activity, you're going to be looking from it. It's just that simple. So if you're looking from it, and the guy who's telling you the great way is not difficult is also saying you're disqualified if you have preferences. Well, how would you get around that? Seeing you're not the you that has preferences, because you're not going to see a you without preference. It's going to have preferences. So why not go the negating way, which is because it's blatantly being implied all day that you're the you that has an opinion, and you have the preferences, and you move from hate to love every day. Yeah. And instead of trying to change that inevitable mechanicalness, just so you're not that. Yeah. And if you, every time it describes a disqualification and you recognize it's not you that has that disqualifying quality, which is opinions, uh, preferences, love, and hate, that there is all that going on, but it's not going on as you or you. There's the relief. There's the way. The great way is not difficult. So we're going to come to another statement from Ramana Maharshi. And, you know, a lot of people listened to him and they wrote down his teachings. And so you get a lot of different translations, but there's always the same major points in all of them. Yeah. All the people that had listened to him, because he would emphasize the major points as the problem, the greatest mystery. So you should be perking up when you hear that. So in this one, it says here, there is no greater mystery than this, that being the reality ourselves, we seek to gain reality. We think that there is something binding our reality and that it must be destroyed before that reality is gained. This is ridiculous. Wow. A lot of people invested a lot of money on that idea. That basically, this is why it takes so long, because you're inevitably going to see you as the obstacle. Yeah. You're going to see you as the obstacle to being reality. That's what's going to happen. That's why everyone slow moves it. They would love, they will dedicate 4 lifetimes of seeking, but there's a dissonance. There's a lot of what they call them that doesn't want to find, because you would be the one that's the obscuring activity. The one that wants to live an unobscured life is the obscuring of the life. There's this idea of you. Yes, it's always comes to that. So here he's saying there is no greater mystery than this, that being the reality ourselves, we seek to gain reality. We think that there is something binding our reality. In other words, something's preventing us, which is actually in a weird way true, but we think it's something out there. I remember it's innocently. I remember this lady got in touch with me and she said she had been relieved of the ego, but she said everyone else's ego was bothering her. Yeah, this is sort of this. And so even when I remember when I did acid when I was a kid, one of the big revelations was the plasticness of people, but I was not included in the plasticness of people. I was the only raw, authentic person, and I saw everyone else is plastic. So there's always an exemption that's not well earned or that's implied. Yeah. So the head will see the truth, but you'll be like a clause to that recognition. Yeah. So everyone's just plastic world, plastic people, and I'm included. Yeah. So there is no greater mystery than this, that being the reality ourselves, we seek to gain reality. And a lot of people would go see this guy, Ramana Maharshi, to actually reveal the greatest mystery. And he's revealing the greatest mystery right now. He's saying the greatest mystery, they were thinking they were going to get the greatest mystery, but they are the act of the greatest mystery, which is reality wanting to attain reality. You went there. I traveled all the way to India, ate some bad food, had fucking diarrhea. I'm here now. Please reveal me the greatest mystery. All right. The greatest mystery is you're here wanting to attain reality. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the plot. Yeah, where's the reality? You are the reality. Oh, wait a minute. I went too far this time. Let me back it out because I want to be there to get it. I want to experience my own absence. I do. I want to be there to write a blog about my disappearance. So he goes here. We think, of course, all these things that we come to that are insane is usually promoted by the thinking that's making it seemingly so. You don't come up with this shit. The shit gets downloaded and you follow it. So the thoughts have you following an idea that's bogus. Yes. And you ask the thoughts, please reveal the truth, they won't. They will keep reinforcing the bogusness. Yeah. Yeah. We think that there is something binding our reality and that it must be destroyed. Yes. Before that reality is gained. It is ridiculous. Wow, that's pretty nice statement. It could have been like easier, you know? It's fucking ridiculous. No, it's ridiculous. Yeah. A day will dawn when we will ourselves, laugh at our own efforts. Yeah. That which is on that day, no, that which is of that day, on that day of laughter is also now. Yeah. So you get that, right? You get the sense of what they're saying. So here's another part. It is false to speak of realization. What is there to realize? The real is as it is always. How to realize it is the question. All that is required is this. All that is required. So that means this is the only requirement. Not bad, yeah? Not that you're healthy or you're pure, they aren't requirements. The only requirement from the godfather of non-duality, Ram Mahashi, all that is required is this. We have realized the unreal. Yeah. So we were regarding the unreal as real, and we realized that. Yeah. So you were taking a dreaming event to be real. Why? Because that's the reality that reinforces you being real. Yeah. That's why you don't see clearly about either, because it's a threat. If you saw that you were dreaming and you were in a dreaming, sooner or later you would be questioned as a dreamt. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. So taking the dreaming to be real allows the head to keep relying on the reality of the dreamt. Yes. So the dreaming is real, therefore this is real. That's perceiving the dreaming. Because I'm not perceiving a dreaming, I'm perceiving a real place. And that's giving me the credit of being real. Yes? You see it? You got to, really, because this is how you see the unreal. You don't see the unreal as the real. This isn't real. We are reality, but this isn't reality. This is an appearance in reality. But it is, and it's appearing to be real, but it's not real. Yeah? This is a thing. So as Huang Po said, a great master, whatever can be perceived, which would be things, yeah, cannot be that which is perceiving, which mustn't be a thing then. Yeah. So whatever can be perceived, saw, tasted, touched, felt, yes, whatever thing that we think is real and we believe it's actually the perceiving is not. The perceiving is not anything that can be perceived. Beautiful statement, yeah? So what does that bring you about? A realization of the unreality of something. Not a realization of the truth, but the truth about realizations. The truth about realization is it's an unreal place. You are an unreal, long-lasting, independent, separate entity. You are not what the head and the memory and all the interpretations of the perceptions have led you to believe. You're not. Yeah. Simple. Very simple. That's what makes the great way not difficult. Yeah. That's what makes the greatest mystery able to be understood. Yeah. That reality, being ourselves reality. It isn't saying you did something so bad you're not reality now, but if you really worked and become really good, you can become reality again. It's not the statement. The statement is being ourselves reality right now. It says it right there. Don't bargain, don't blame me. We have to, it says it right there. The day you laugh about it is also now. The same thing that you're going to laugh about all your efforts is now. You could start laughing at the moment. Yeah. So again, it is false to speak of realization. Why? Yeah. What is there to realize? That's why it's a false thing to speak about realization, because what is there to realize? You are not there to be realized. You are always realized. Yeah, that's what he says. You ever read Rama? He says, realization is always realized. How you come to that understanding is by seeing by realizing what not is going on, what isn't real. You don't realize reality. You are that. You realize the unreality that's been called reality. That's what happens. This is negation. This is non-duality to me, completely. Non-duality is saying not to. It's not saying, chanting one, one, one. It's actually a negation of what was taken to be real and greeting with not to. So there isn't a subject that's also an object. So when there's a subjective experience, it's not the object that's having it. Go into your head. What does your head believe? Your head believes what's perceiving can be perceived. Yeah. When it thinks about you as the perceiving, it pictures you as the perceived. So the head and all of its narrative, all of it is based on the perceiver is the perceiving. It's not. The perceived is not the perceiving. Yet its whole story is about that. Why would you want to try to change chapter 8? Yeah, where it's just a negation of the author of the page. That's where the relief lies. Not changing the course of the book, because that if you change the course of a book, that's part of the course of the book. Constantly attempting to change it. Yes, this is seeing what you're not. In other words, seeing meaning becoming aware or being aware of what you're not. Yeah. So that is the realization. And this is obviously, if I didn't believe that, I probably wouldn't have picked these statements, because these statements explain a lot of what I feel, yeah, over the years. Yeah. And they're so succinct. And maybe you'll give more credit if I say it's from Ramana than you'll listen from me, because obviously here, the biggest problem of delivering the message is the idea there's a messenger, tell you the truth. I swear to God, it's insane. Yeah. We're so self-centered, the system, we see the thing as the deliverer of the no thing. And seeing, it's sort of like we call the hose the creator of the water, which is insane. Yeah. And so everyone's looking to find a mistake on the messenger, whoever it was. You know how many people try to disqualify, like Sai Baba, all these people? Sai Baba had a little homosexual bent, like young men. Out, can't be in the echelons of out, or someone else out. And they're so surprised when someone that was in all the hierarchy of spiritual committees was pronounced to be an enlightened person, now has dementia and is putting on his pants the wrong way. Yeah. And the people who thought he was enlightened are fucking confused because he looks like he's fucking out to lunch. But he wasn't enlightened. No person, no thing has ever been enlightened. Enlightenment can come through a thing. And actually, there's no thing to come through, but give it here a world of doors. We can say something that has entered came through this door. All right. So spiritual enlightenment was coming out of that person and hopefully showering on other people. It wasn't the fucking person, obviously. This is why people had trouble with other teachers. That messages were unbelievable, but then they had an addiction to nitrous oxide or fucking shit like that, or they were doing weird shit. Yeah, which just doesn't matter. I read Carlos Castaneda when I was a kid. Yeah, they had all these books about Don Juan picking peyote in Long Island, a little kid flipping out, just digging possibilities. And then then years later, he's a counterfeit. There was no Don Juan, Carlos Castaneda and shit like that. Who cares? Didn't change the effect the book had on me. It could have been coming from didn't matter. Yes. This is the point. And then we know someone who was with Don Carlos Castaneda, and I respect him. He says, no, it was real and shit like that, and the witches are real. But I mean, people go way out of the way to counterfeit other people, but it's not the messenger. Did you get something from the message? Yeah. This book of the Course in Miracles, you could trip over and break your neck, or it could bring you a nice statement that you don't read the book, but you never forget that little paragraph, because it was what was the yodeling that started an avalanche. And so you honor it. Oh, there's no whatever. It was a CIA thing in the 70s to do the Course in Miracles. Why? It's control. It's just insane. Did you get something out of it? Yeah. Yeah. So I hope this is what happens here. Everything I say and I remembered that I ever share was the yodel of an avalanche in me. That's why I haven't forgotten it. You know, I remember the unspoken yes when it triggered. I remember when I knew I was never going to ask another question because I realized the futility of the seeker and the seeking. It was just, you know, I was brought to a lot of places of being convinced of the unreality of stuff that was presented every day as being real. I did not. The presentation of it being real continues. See, I believe there were so many misunderstandings, a lot of misunderstandings. One of them, I remember I got struck sober 36 years ago. And I had a talent to explain stuff that people had difficulty understanding. Yeah, I recognized that. So I said, yeah, just use me. So I was being used. I was running a seminar in recovery. And I believed something was moving through. The hose could sense something that was more like water than anything else was moving through. And the hose, the only way it could understand it is I got to become a better hose. Yeah. I mean, for me to be worthy of this water coming through, I got to clean up my fucking hose act, so to speak. You know, let's start meditating, this and that. And then the water spoke to me and said, no, I want you just to go to thrift stores and read Yankee blogs. You're perfect as you are to be used. You do not have to become a super hose or the most unhosed hose there is. Just fucking show up and something wants to move through. And it was amazing. It took a while to get it, but I got it. And tons of these misunderstandings over time were knocked down like bowling pins. Yeah. As long as you went to the alley and satsang, a lot of these, you thought they were different than pins. You thought they were part of the fucking landscape. There, the dog is howling. It's great. She's howling for some satsang. But then the ball just getting rolled, they got knocked down. And then the idea of the emperor with no clothes, you would think that you have to keep seeing it with no clothes on to get the emperor has no clothes. No. All you may need is one shot of the emperor with no clothes, and no matter how many clothes it wears from then on, you know the emperor has no clothes. I did not have that kind of understanding. So basically, people have a peak experience, and then they think that's the only experience that's a peak thing. I'm going to have to try to stabilize a peak experience. It's a misunderstanding, completely misunderstanding. And as he says here about realization, most people, when I went to talks early on in different spiritual groups, everyone was looking to realize. They wanted a realization. They were looking to get realized. Yeah. And then in this case, he's saying, what is there to realize? The only thing that's there to realize is what's not real. Yeah. Because you are what you're looking for. So you are the reality that you want to become. You already are that. And this urge to become something has brought about a lot of misunderstanding that only really gets looked at clearly. It's like you can really see the trees from the forest, when you listen to non-duality, because a lot of other understandings include you. They include this. They're not negating this. They want to get this better. They want to get this more set up. They want to get ready to transcend. Yes, but there it seems to be included where non-duality just puts a kibosh on that, says no, the seeker is not the vehicle for the sought. The seeker is the sought. Yeah, the seeker is the sought. What's looking is what you're looking for. Doesn't say what's looking and then 800 requirements for it to be what you're looking for. What? Because it's not this. It's not the idea of what we think we are that needs to qualify for this event. It's not. It doesn't need to be purified. It doesn't. What it needs is a loss of interest, which it can't do, because that would be interest in it. So that this cannot vow to lose interest in itself. That's more interest in itself. Yes, it is. So you see what you're not, and then you're onto something. Then understandings start lining up. Like in old Zen, they would say, you'll see blue is blue and red is red and green is green. There'll be a clarity, not something that you have, but a clarity about the you that's seeking to become clear. Yeah. You'll have a clarity that you're not that which is wants to become clear. Yes. You'll be very clear of that. And really, you may, unless you have a position to uphold, you may be on a need to know basis after that. It will look like you're getting dumbed down quite a lot because you're not a master of 80 different topics. You're not, you don't know. I used to think I knew when someone came over and they were fucked under drugs and alcohol. I don't know. I don't know what's going to go happen really. And maybe this is what's necessary for something else to occur. Who knows? And I realized that a lot of times trying to be of help, you perform a disservice to someone whose only way here, they're going to dream themselves out of this dream is to have a bottom. Yeah. And sometimes you're rushing to help is a huge disservice. All this shit, I needed a revamping of an understanding because most of the understandings I had were tainted by self-centeredness. Yeah. They were of the system, by the system, for the system. I didn't realize that everything was seen as how it pertained to me as the unreal dreamt. Wow. So you just go in like that and you get disrobed. Yeah. You find yourself, you see the emperor that you represent with no clothes on. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I feel. Because nothing else, it wasn't going to work because this is about loss of interest. And you can't lose interest if you're interested in arriving somewhere. If you have a drive at all times to get better or transcend like that, that's a huge amount of interest. Yeah. And that interest, like barnacles live on that interest that you have no idea of. Yeah. But when you lose interest, there's a migration from this idea of the dreamt being the reality. And I don't know where it goes, but I do know where it leaves, which is this idea of you. Yeah. And then the beauty of it is that which was taken to be like a GPS super dramatic news app, yeah, becomes comedy. It's great. You just see it and it's funny because it's never going to get it. Self will never get that it can't get out of itself. It will just try and try and try. It can never. It's not AI. It's program. It's defined. It doesn't have an option to grow out of certain ceilings. It just does. I don't believe. So basically, its failure is the greatest success. When this doesn't reach the goal, fantastic, fantastic, because you're standing on the goal to try to reach for the goal. And you're so busy trying to reach for the goal, you don't realize you're standing as the goal. Yeah. And then bammo, you lose. If you stop driving or doing all the seeking, the seeker will be seen as the emperor with no clothes. The clothes is the seeking. Yeah. The seeker clothed is by the clothing of seeking. So you do not see the emperor with no clothes. Yeah. But if the seeker, if doesn't have any seeking going on, you'll see the emperor has no clothes. And one of the things that happened with me with non-duality, I lost interest in seeking, for sure. It was like a sudden whack in my case. It was just ended. And I've never spent a second looking for what I am, you know, never. It's just beyond the pale to think I could I could have left what I am and get back to what I am. That's like the mental being the warrior's wet dream. You know what I mean? You did something and you were disqualified. The queen divorced you, and then you're going to work and you're going to rise to a greater height. This is all selfing and a lot of, yeah. So, yeah, I think to knock out these two little statements can do it. So I'm going to say it again. There is no greater mystery. You know English, that means there's no greater mystery. Yeah. Like there's not a mystery coming ahead or, you know, oh, coming around the bend. No, there is no greater, because if you don't believe, you must believe that Ramana saw around the bend. I mean, obviously, you would hope, yes, that Ramana Mahashi saw around the bend and saw the greatest mysteries. I mean, that's why he's like exalted. Yeah. He never got pulled over driving in a diaper and shit. It was fantastic. He fucking did. Yeah, he saw the greatest mystery. So because I don't say, oh, the greatest mystery mostly all day. I don't, because there's mysteries and there's more mysteries. Yeah. But and I feel he has a pulpit to say it, the greatest mystery. I should freaking listen to this. Yeah. So there is no greater mystery than this. All right, break the news. I'm ready. I'm going to find out the greatest mystery. It's going to turn into a bummer quickly. That being the reality ourselves, we seek to gain reality. Ooh, I feel some shoes coming on my feet. Yep. Well, if they fit, wear them. This is what happened with me when I heard this. When I heard can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha, it was an avalanche completely. When I heard it, I had read it, but there's a difference between reading and being the hearer of it than hearing it. Sometimes the hearing of it is like a yodel in the Swiss Alps, you know, avalanches occur. Yeah. So there is no greater mystery than this, that being the reality ourselves, how can you twist that into something? There's no clause or way out because it's saying being. It's not saying you were, and if you do a lot of shit, you will be yourself. No, being ourselves reality means right now, right this moment, no matter what the moment looks like, the underlying moment is reality, and we are that. Yeah. We seek to gain reality. We think that, so this is the seeker and the sought. So the seeker is now Paul, and it's seeking the sought, which is reality. Yes? What is he going to be armed by? Probably books to begin with. And now with the YouTube, you can fucking, Jesus Christ, they probably have brought back Ramana and AI him or something. So you can have dead masters appear. So there's all these things that I can use now to arrive at the sought, but all the time that's between me arriving at the sought is always the seeker getting reinforced. Yeah. And the sought will change, but the modality won't. There'll always be seeking and there will always be the seeker. The soughts will change. Yeah. But the real motor is seeker and seeking. All right. But the seeker is the sought. Where are you going to see the first effects if that lands? Obviously seeking, obviously. Are you going to be seeking, what stores open when you realize you have a gallon of fucking Haagen-Dazs coffee in the freezer? No. The Haagen-Dazs is right in your freezer. You were trying to, is the store open? It's almost 9. We got to get there. No, all that mechanism, the car, everything to provide the seeking, the sorts it right in the freezer. Where are you going to see the effect of that realization is you're not going to be getting in the car, driving to fucking 7-Eleven, which I guarantee probably does not have Argonaut. It may have some fucking dairy mint or some shit. Probably 3 gallons of it for $2, all fucking air. But whatever. Yes, you see? Seeker is the sort. Seeker is the sort. No time and space. No, maybe, sometimes, infrequently, hopefully. No. Seeker is the sort. Okay. That there is something, of course, this is what the head arrives at. That there's if I'm looking for reality, it obviously means I don't believe I'm anywhere near reality, obviously. Yeah. And why? In self-centeredness, what happens? I remember when I was a kid, my father got very ill, 6 years old or something. It was to a point where his relationship to me was going to change. He wasn't going to take me out to play as much. So the adults knew that. And so my mother, with my family doctor, Dr. Gianquinto, sat me down and gave me a long talk about, what's going to happen to my father. Yeah. With the hopes that I wouldn't take it personally. But of course, my head did, which was, I understood what they were saying, but the only way I could look at it is, what did I do to cause my father not to want to play with me? Yeah. So self-centeredness, that's a pretty good example of that kind of view. Here you go. You realize something is obscuring you from reality. It's going to be you. Yeah. Now, let's say most of your life is invested in that you're going to slow walk finding reality. Because if it means you have to be destroyed, you're not going to fucking be that interested in it, are you? If they told you, you want to really find reality, when you get there, you're going to be destroyed. You'd probably go, well, give me the slowest, longest way. I wanted to get the credits for wanting to gain reality, but let's go really slow. Yes. So that there is something binding our reality and that it must be destroyed before that reality is gained. It is ridiculous. Wow, that's incredible. Some people don't say many things like that. To hear them use a word like that is probably meant a lot. Yeah. Not like, oh, this is a tiny little mistake. No, it's ridiculous. Fucking get over it. A day will dawn when we will ourselves laugh at our own efforts. That which is on that day of laughter is also now. Okay, so I'm now going to go to the other one. It is false to speak of realization. What is there to realize? What is there to realize? That you're late? Yeah. That you've run out of fucking milk for the lattes after the talk? There's a lot of things that would be good to realize. Yeah, like I forgot that the pumpkin pie's gone. I was making this unbearable event of this talk bearable. I was going to have some pumpkins. I just realized there's no more. I ate it last night. Talk's going to go much shorter. So what is there to realize? A lot of shit here, but not that which is always realized. But there's a lot of things to realize. Yeah. My knee was really bad today and yesterday. I needed to realize that. Yeah. How did I realize it? The pain. First, I tried to avoid it. It remembered it itself again. Pain. All right. So here my leg is up. So the real is as it is always. The real is as it is always. Does this fall under always right now? Or is this a special exempt moment because you are in it? If there's a me, all bets are off. No rule or anything applies. I'm so unique. I used to work with a guy. His mind was incredible. He would always have the problem. The problem would change. But when it was, he was announcing that there was no other problems ever. And there was never, ever, no problem ever looked like this. And I had been working with him for years. So I had heard the problem, like 9 or 10 versions of it. And I would try to point it out. Oh, this is the 9th version of the problem. It wasn't seeking in. He fired me, I think. But the problem, the sense of being, that sense of uniqueness gives you an exemption, or the head's exemption. Yes. You don't like when you see a lot of people doing some stuff and you're seeing them as a you and they're seeing you as a you, but you're holding this you as a me. And me has a lot of exemptions of what you would apply to other yous. Yeah. The me is a special hybrid of fucking extreme self-centeredness. So we have realized the unreal, regarded as, so what was that? What was going on, regarded as the real, that which is unreal. So the unreal was regarded as the real. We're not doing that. The head is. So this is not another sin that you've committed. Yeah, you're not bad for it. It's the system. The system sees the unreal as real. That is the realization that he's speaking of. I'm not really looking into it. It says it right here. All that required is this: we have realized the unreal. We have to give up this attitude. That is all that is required. That's all. I know someone's going to say that's too much, whatever, but hey, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the poor dog. I don't want to let her in because she's exuberant. She'll be on everyone. All right. So thank you. Thank you for putting up. I'm stuck on this little knot because a lot of the fun of this is to try to, the most succinct, the most dense, let's say, jewel that you can, that is like a universal key for all the open doors. Yeah. So you have to play around and then it will just, the door will open. You think you did something to open it, but it just was open all along. Yeah, like the open secret, the gateless gate. Yeah, but a lot of people like keys. So here are 2 nice little keys. Yeah. Let's not talk about realization. The real realization is always realized and we're on it. And that realization can see and have a realization about taking the unreal to be real. And what will happen again? You would believe, because of the idea of you, that you are now going to see it as unreal. The unreal, this is going to keep seeing it as real. This is not like an hallucination. It's like a mirage. When you wake up from this dream, it's not a morning. You're still in the dreaming. Yeah. And you realize this is part of the dreaming. This isn't what's going to wake up to the dream. This is part of the dreaming. It's the dreamt. But an aspect of us, the awareness that we are, is now aware that that which is seemingly real is unreal. And it allows this to travel lighter through the unreality that it's taking to be real. Yes, bleeds into it, and you lose a lot of interest in shit you were completely interested in, even as this. Yeah. And so this is not about you getting this message, because the dreamt will say that it's in the dreaming or recognize the dreaming, but you are part of it. This is not an out of the system recognizing the system. You as this is the system. You as this you are not on a ride. You are the ride here. This is the ride. Yeah. So the head will keep on seeing everything as it saw, but a lot of your interest and attention, or a lot of interest and attention that was absorbed in that, is going to leak away. Yeah. And to a point where this was taken as like a fucking bona fide CNN channel, and it turned into Comedy Central. You can have such a complete contrast, a huge shift that it's obvious that a lot of the audience that was giving it the meaning it had left. And I call that audience interest and attention. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. All right. Anyone have anything?
Thank you for the message, Paul.
Honey, you're more than welcome.
And Jamie is waving.
Yeah, I just wanted to react. Mike Clark the other night mentioned that its clarity to him wasn't as important as it used to be, and it made me think of the statement in the Bible, "The peace that passeth understanding."
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of that immediately when he said,
Great. That's what truth does. It triggers stuff.
yeah, yeah.
You have, some of those ski resorts manufacture avalanches.
Right.
In a sense, satsang is sort of the manufacturing of avalanches. Like one good yodel can reverberate for quite a while. Yeah, Mike was talking about, because the idea of clarity is of the mind, obviously. And so the mind is of the body. And therefore, you can be super clear and be unclear about the unreality of this place. So the value of clarity, not having the ability to be clear of the one who has the clarity, lost a lot of value to me after that. Yeah, I could care less. Yeah. Yeah. So I met a lot of people who are super clear. They're super clear. They do ayahuasca, but they think they did ayahuasca. Yeah, they were the one who went to the ceremony and they left the ceremony. You would hope that the idea of them would have been left at the ceremony, but they left the ceremony only to be the one at the next ceremony. Yeah. How much shit can you take? DMT-5's not enough now. It's got to be DMT-9. Licking toads. You got to lick a toad and a fucking camel, fucking hoof at the same time to fucking get the extra booster to get out. And when you come back, you're still the one who came back. What the fuck? It's like going to the universal fucking car wash and the one stain never gets washed off. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't care. I have no opinion. I wish I could have gone to Peru and painted my face and wrestled snakes. I would have loved it. I mean, I love taking drugs. And if I could have given it a spiritual purpose, fucking, it would be incredible. And I would have loved if I could have used that. I'm on a ceremony when the cops used to pull me over and get away with something. I would have loved it that I could have made my cocaine shooting as a ceremony for some religious sect I was involved in. It never came up in my head. I could have done that. Yeah. But no, it's not the seed assignment. The seed assignment is nothing at the moment. Yeah. All right.
Mike,
You want to let her in, Chris?
Oh.
Chris, let the dog in.
Get ready, folks.
They're all going to get a Zen bitch slap as my dog comes in.
You'll understand why it's been outside this whole time.
Come on, Lola. This is what you've been missing. You're going to be disappointed. What? You're lucky you're on the couch. You can't get up there that well. All right. So we let the dog in. Who let the dog out? Who let the dog in? Yeah. All right. Anyone else?
Mike Clark.
Mike Clark. All right, Mike.
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
I was just really quick. This has been building for about a week or two, and it's just this gratitude that I needed to express. I need to express, and I'm not sure who I'm grateful to, and I'm not sure what I'm grateful for. So it's a little like this undefined gratitude, but it's strong. And I caught myself last night. I ran into Coco.
Oh, yeah, Coco.
Yeah, and I was even grateful to Coco. I said, I thanked Coco for when you came, bringing you down here, basically. And I said, I'm not sure why I'm thanking you, because, you know, it's not whatever, but it just sort of just spills out sometimes. And so she said hello, by the way. But it just sort of happens that it can't be contained, I guess. That's how it feels. And I just wanted to express that, and I'm so happy to have this opportunity on a regular basis, because this is what I don't even know what it does. This is what keeps washing over me. It's like I'm on a beach, and the waves just keep coming and coming and coming. And man, satsang is the essence of all that, as far as I'm concerned. And it's been almost 2 years now since you were down here. We were just talking about that last night. And she says she wants you to come back, so I'll let her ask you. I'm not gonna. We won't go through all that. But anyway, I just wanted to express that, because it seems like it's appropriate to say something, and I couldn't not do it. That's it.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, great. I knew it when I saw you at this meeting in Mexico.
Oh yeah, I know.
So yeah, it's cool. Yeah. No, I like gratitude with not pinpointed on anything. It's a healthy attitude to, you know, breathe out all around you. Yes. Yeah. 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 I had in this place, this story, me getting struck sober was had initiated so much gratitude, because the statements in the big book of AA were very lived. And one of them was that no human power could relieve us of this situation. And it had been proven over and over again. The love of my mother, the state wanted it to stop, a lot of things. Nothing could stop it. And then suddenly, in a blink of an eye, the whole thing shifted, blew my mind. So, and then after a few years of recovery, I wasn't looking for non-duality. I just heard about some ladies speaking in a park in Berkeley, and I went there. Couldn't hear her. She had a very soft-spoken Eastern European. It didn't matter, because there was the gratitude of the message in the air, and I just breathed into that. And she was the first touchstone, and then I just went off, and AA became a way of life. It needed to be, because the action figure had deep mental, emotional grooves that were repeating, expressing themselves in this life. Yes? And a therapist wouldn't have enough time to ever have gone over it all. I need a, Cliff Note version or something. And I'm fucked. That's what I got. That worked. And so I had this way of life that allowed the action figure to live a day at a time without, getting arrested at first, which was a fucking big deal for me. Because at the end, I was getting arrested like once a week. It's insane. And it wasn't looking good. And when I heard non-duality, it's not a path of illumination, but it'll illuminate whatever path you're on, which was mind-boggling. It brought such a light to the program of AA and the big book of AA. It allowed me to see that what had defeated me was foreign to me. And I learned a lot of things I thought I'm doing are mechanical. Yeah. And the mechanicalness has been a big thing for me, because I've noticed when people hear the truth, there's an untruth that's hearing it, which is they're doing that shit you're describing. And I humbly believe you're not doing that shit. So there's a famous thing in the Course in Miracles where it says, firm in faith. No, it says actively denying what you are and firm in faith of this something else your head has made to be you. Yeah. That doesn't have you don't have anything to do with that. You're the effect. Yeah. You're effect of the denying of what you are. You are the living expression of a denial of what you are. That's what this is. And firm in faith in what you're not, that the head has made to be yourself. That's what it is. That encapsulates tons of stuff for me. Yeah. So that light, that non-duality brought into recovery really is sort of like, well, who is there to recover and from what in a lot of ways? And so my solution now wasn't a well-earned condition. It was a prior condition, always available at all times. And nothing to me, I hadn't undone it and I wasn't going to redo it. Yeah. All of my actions were really, I was driven. Yeah, I was driven by something to do something. And now in recovery, we have two possibilities. Either you're driven by the head or you're driven by the spirit, let's say. Yeah. They would call the Holy Spirit in Course in Miracles. So, yeah. So, yeah, the gratitude doesn't have to be targeted. It's just, you spray it. Yes. You sort of spray it like, a perfume. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like in the air. It's like in the, like being washed in it or bathed in it or breathing it or something. I don't know.
Exactly. And it's a public shower. Anyone can get in it. Yes. Yes.
Right. And I'm very happy to hear you talk about Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream as the gold standard, because I totally agree with you. It's not only the best ice cream, but it's the best food, period.
Oh, best food. Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It goes way beyond ice cream.
You must have some Dutch in you somewhere.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I have chocolate or something, cocoa. I don't know.
Well, coffee, the Haagen-Dazs coffee is hard to beat.
It is. It is the best.
But I've met others, but I'm not going to share it here unless they
yeah. We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline about that. But thank you.
Judy Lovins gets whacked. Yes, a lot of people here, Vlad, everyone.
Yeah.
Not an event.
I can hear them. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all great. It's all great. Yeah. All right. Thank you, man. Thank you. So anyone else, or we're just going to say goodbye? And oh, we have someone out here. Yeah, you can, but I have to say because they don't hear you. So what is it? A lady here wants to have a question. I'm going to repeat it as best I can to you.
Last time I was here was probably, 11, 12 years ago.
Oh, she was here 12 years ago. So she's on the 12-year cycle. Not bad, like a comet. So she's here. Yes. All right. 12 years ago. Yes.
And stopped seeking probably 7 years ago.
Oh, good. Stop seeking 7 years ago.
And I'm back because you asked me why I'm here.
Yeah.
You have a particular angle that wisdom that I started seeking again yesterday, which is I'm not an addict, but my niece and my sister are engaged in a very deep and entrenched addiction cycle.
Yes.
And it's impacting me. And since I realize I'm powerless to do anything for anybody, that hit me quite a while ago. I find that there is suffering that's coming up here because the niece, well, my mother died 2 months ago, then my niece crashed her car last week or the week before and almost killed herself. And then, the phone calls are coming, the this, the that. So it's the whole cycle, right? And
yes.
I'm not addicted, but it's my dream. And these are my dream characters. So you want to...
Yes. Well, in a way, yes. So in that case,
find out what else is to be seen here.
Well,
that-
again, you may feel like you've been drafted because it's a family thing. Yeah, but again, uh, a lot of people know about the other people in the dynamic. You should just look at where you are, and if you feel like it would, you could just do some service and get out of that triangular relationship. Not service to them, people you don't know. So there's no hooks into the service. Yeah, and just get. It's like taking a nice. If you've been in a stuffy office, it's like taking a walk outside. You just get it, the head, you'll get out of the head somewhat. Yes.
So a month ago I did that. I said, I'm no longer part of this dynamic, and let it rest.
Yeah.
Space for a month. And then, Mara's army gets louder and bigger, and the escalations are coming. And I'm still doing that. No, I'm not coming for Christmas. And I'm not
Hold
getting-
on a second, hon. Let's talk after with
Okay.
all of us, because I
It's
can't
too
say
much.
this. It's
Yeah,
getting,
it's too
I
much.
can't, yeah, it's getting a little, my stenography isn't so good. I can't, yeah, I can't, the witness, I can't type fast enough. So we'll talk with them with coffee, but nice to see you. Yeah, yeah. All right, so we'll say goodbye to everyone.
Maggie Powell has her hand up.
Maggie, come on in. We'll say hello to Maggie.
Yo, I'm back in red baseball land restaurant and over my cold. I'm a sculptress in clay, and I hate the St. Francis statues, that exist, the long-waisted with the dove. And so I got real quiet and did a few spiritual beings, and one of them is on one knee, really cool, really abstract. And then I was looking at St. Francis quotes, and this a few years ago. And the what we are looking for is what is looking.
Yes.
And I went that one. I will do it large. These are all maquettes. They still remain maquettes. I will make larger ones, but that has stayed with me. Yeah. What we are looking for is what is looking.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That was one of the first hooks in me. I heard that it was on a brochure on this thing in Australia when I was there, 2000. That was reason why I called the number in the brochure, because of that
Wow.
statement
Yeah.
has the novelty of something that I like. And you're going to get used to it. A lot of stuff framed in a non-duality way has that certain ring that will capture your interest, I feel.
Yeah.
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 Great.
And
Thanks.
yeah. It doesn't see, there's so much space with the pointing when you take the eye off the finger that's pointing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The finger is pointing triggers it, but then there's the space that you're looking at. Yeah, yeah. And then
There you go.
sometimes you really appreciate the finger, but it's a limited role. You see the finger and then you look the way it's pointing, and then you get captured by the seeing of what's being pointed at. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Great.
yeah, nice to see you, honey. We're gonna be
Nice to
down
see
there
you.
maybe in January in
Oh, cool.
Joshua Tree. Yeah.
Oh, right
Jamie,
on.
Jamie and Barbara. I guess I imagine this is Jamie, I'd see.
Mm.
Barbara's back there. All right. Judy Lovins, Jim Elliott,
Thank you,
Mary
Paul.
Payne. Oh. You could have Willie Wine, Biff Beer, Mary Champagne. I knew a lot of Biff beers. Well, Axel, nice to see you. Johannes, nice to see you, my friend, dropping in from Germany. He's been here since the beginning of the Zoom. Zen Bitch Shop has had 2 lives. It had the little tape recorder live, then CD, then a website, then live, and then Zoom. So it's 4th generation Zen Bitch Shop. All right, nice to see you, Johannes. Chris D. There she is. Yeah. She's ate the canary. John, Florida. Elon. Mike Clark down in Mexico. Brian C. That's true. Vlad, as always. Rainier's phone. Hiram, nice to see you, bro. It's a very good way to hear satsang is horizontally. Very good. But I've heard if you hang up by your feet, you'll get it faster. Just, I don't know. I can't verify it, but it could be true. Be a little bat zoom. Bat zoom. Keith, nice to see you, Keith. Thank you for your donation. Everyone's donation, by service, by money, by whatever. It's forever grateful for it. I have an easy life because of you, for the people, as an action figure. Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's lavish. So if you want to bring it to a level of lavishness, you can, you know. Nanette, oh, it's nice to see you, honey. Yeah. Another, oh, there's Nanette and Annette. Wow. And there's Miak, our friend in Australia right now. She's such a part of this thing. I miss her when on Wednesdays and Saturdays when she's not here. There's a big hole in this space. All right. Chris G. Nice to see you, Chris. David and Natalie. Yes, there you are. Yes, let's hear it for Natalie, David. Yes. We got Mika. Zoe Banks in Japan. Ah, fantastic. Nice to see you, Zoe. All's well? Yeah, good. We got Dhruv D. Nice to see you, Dhruv, there. Actually, I can get to the second page today. That's cool. Alan Olson. Eric, don't worry about the other day, bro. It wasn't you.
Traveling
Anja.
later, thank you.
Yeah. We got Anja, John K., one of our main men in the Zoom world. Muchi Facet in Laguna.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, you're welcome. I think I got everyone. Hey, thank you so much. And everyone here, thank you. And we'll continue the talk in a little while. Hey, I'll see you. We'll be back. It's on the event page, all the Zooms. It's all back running. And really appreciate spending time with all of you. And I'll see you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Paul.
Yes.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.